Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have a rare Smackdown review show, but it's just not Smackdown. We're going to talk a little Smackdown. There's a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. We're going to talk about NXT World Collide. We're going to have predictions for that show. We're going to have predictions for Clash at the Castle. And when we say that, it's not involving Mario and Bowser. This Friday, tonight as I'm speaking, you're having the Tuesday Night Delight, which is me and the Captain Shaykesphere. And we hope that we'll see you guys on the other side. Matter of fact, we're going to see you guys right now because we're not going to break into the intro. It's Badguy Jack, along with my partner, the fantastic, the amazing, the incredible Captain Shaykesphere. And we are here to talk about Smackdown. Cap, how are you this evening?
I am doing quite well. How are you?
I don't have a warrant. So that's like the best answer I got for any time anyone asks me. And, SmackDown just went off the air. We felt like it was a great time to come back. I mean, we just want to throw out to everybody that there were people asking us. They said, hey, where are you guys? When you guys coming back? All that stuff. And, last week we took off because we were celebrating a great person, which is myself. So I'm glad that we were able to do that. And this week, there was a lot of stuff, but we said we're coming back tonight. It was the captain's idea. He said, let's review SmackDown. I said, hey, while we talk about all the stuff that's going on in wrestling, so let's talk about it. So let's talk about SmackDown. I'm going to make sure I have my notes. I really thought SmackDown was a decent show. I just want to throw it out there real quick. I really thought SmackDown was decent. It's not a lot of stuff I hate. I think there was stuff where I was like, But there was a lot of stuff where I just really was like, oh, this is pretty decent. So, what did you think about SmackDown? To sum it all up, what did you think?
I definitely agree. It was a solid show. I enjoyed it. And just seeing, SmackDown kind of getting on its stride, because I will say, out of the two main roster shows, SmackDown is kind of struggling a little bit right now lately, which is kind of like outside of their control. I feel like they just lost a lot of people in a very short span of time, and it takes a second to rebuild a whole new person to go into a spot that someone had already been very easily established. It takes a second to rebuild a whole new person to go into a spot
that was random, but carry on. I apologize about that.
No, it's fine. That's it.
But no, it's because for once upon a time, SmackDown was the show. There were like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Raw, it's hard to watch, it's hard to deal with," but it was like SmackDown, and I feel like SmackDown tonight, and it was fun. I mean, a lot of fun things. Matter of fact, when we were talking about reviewing SmackDown, we were gonna really highlight really we were gonna highlight like certain things on tonight's show. But I thought there was a lot of good stuff because even the opener, I thought New Day against Viking Raiders, that was a fun opener. I thought that was fun. It was different. The ring looked like a boat. It had like this boat little thing.
Yeah, that was a little silly for me. I was
and I can understand why that's silly. But I thought the match itself was good. Mm-hmm. Like I thought the match itself. So I understand that. I totally agree where you can sit here and say, okay, we get it. They're Vikings. That's silly. But I thought they delivered on the aggression in the match because there was a lot of spots. I mean, even that spot where I always hope I get these characters right? But Ivar, right? He does the crossbody on the outside to, I think it's like Xavier. Yeah. And that looked so gruesome. It looked so gruesome. So I thought the aggression and everything in this match, it really delivered. While I can understand certain things, like you said, like, hey, that looks silly. But Viking Raid, I mean, I feel like if we go through play-by-play of every move that goes on, we'd be here all night. But Viking Raiders beat the New Day, and I thought in a really good match. I thought it was really, really, really good. I mean, they've been feuding for the last 2 months or something like that, and we had to have I don't even know if this is a closure. I feel like this definitely should be a closure because, I mean, we went to the Viking Rules match. It was Viking Rules, and wouldn't it suck? Like, can you imagine you make the rules of something and you lose? Like, that would be like you would stink. No one has time to stink. What did you think about this match, Captain?
I mean, I thought it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it for what it was. Uh, as I said before, the boat was a little initially off-putting. I was like, but the match definitely kind of made up for that. I really enjoyed it. Um, I don't think that this is the end of this feud, to be honest.
You don't think so? You think they're going to carry on more?
Yes.
Yes, that's a great way of saying it. I love the cosplay. As a cosplayer or a part-time cosplayer, I do enjoy that. I thought it was funny seeing Kofi as Thor, and I think Xavier was Loki. I might mix my whole characters up here, but I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good match. It was a good opener, and you know what, I think I learned what I like. It's funny. It's almost a quote from somebody, but what I learned what I like here is that, a lot of times when we watch wrestling, they open up with the whole, they come into the in-ring promo. That's how they start the show. They went out and said, let's kick some ass. And I enjoy a good, someone's getting their ass kicked. That's because I'm a New Yorker. So we have also in the interview, you're a New Yorker too. Don't act like that. We also have, we had a lot of stuff here. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is great. Can we talk about how great he is?
I love that.
He is hilarious. I don't even know where the hell he got that suit from.
Pretty nice. It's pretty stylish.
He kind of lied though. He said this is Samoan. I almost said Samoan tech. That would be hilarious. Not Samoan tech, but he thought it was. You gotta work with me here, Miss Sawyer. You gotta work with me here. Work with me. But he said the texture is Samoan, and they were like, "No, it's not. What are you talking about?" I just want to throw out because Sammy's great. We're gonna talk about him more. But Shayna Baszler, she has an interview. Why'd you do that face? You're not a fan of Shayna Baszler?
I didn't say that. I just always make that face because we have the same name.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I do have the same name. Wow, I didn't even peep that. Good job. But she talks into the mic. She talks about how she's gonna break down Liv Morgan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna just cheat right here real quick here. So my prediction. So I know Liv Morgan's going to win. I feel like she's definitely going to win, and we're going to get into predictions a little bit later here, ladies and gentlemen. So I always see her as she's going to win, right?
Yeah.
But I think Shayna should beat her. I truthfully and utterly believe she should beat her. Like I believe she should beat her. Like no questions asked. But that's just my opinion, and we'll get into predictions later. I see you already shaking your head because you are part of the Liv train, or was it the Morgan? The Morgan? It's not the Morgan Freeman because Morgan Freeman would not allow that. But she talks about making her like she's gonna make her suffer. She's gonna like pretty much break her down. And God bless Liv Morgan, right? She comes in and she looks her dead in the face. She said, "I'm not scared." So I said, "Okay." Then she said. She said, "I'm going to rip your arms out."
You just might.
I thought it was so adorable. The only thing would have made it great, like, when like someone who's like, I don't want to mention height size, but like someone like not 5'10", and you just pat them on the head because they just, oh, I can do this. Shayna Baszler should totally rip her apart. I'm just gonna say that. Sorry, there's too many Shaynas up there. But we have Karrion Kross. I didn't even want to break this down. I didn't even really want to break this down. It was pretty much a promo to go into him murdering. Let me make sure I got the name right. Drew Gulak. Quick question. What do you think about we used to, when we were doing NXT, we were reviewing stuff with Karrion Kross or him in NXT, and he was a dominant force. Because I feel like I've had the floor a lot. What did you think about his promo, match, all that stuff?
I mean, I thought the promo was good. I think it was still on the nose of what he's been saying, but it's staying in the same wheelhouse. I mean, the match for what it was good, but I think it was meant to just make him look stronger moving forward. I think Drew Gulak is obviously a great, person to do that with, like, or be across the other side from. So, I mean, the match was what it was. It wasn't meant to be some masterclass. It was meant to make him look like a crazy killing machine, and I feel like they got that across. So,
and they did too.
Yeah, Scarlett looks amazing as always. So there's that as well. I just had to say it.
I gotta sit here and say, with Scarlett involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just changes the whole act from what it was last year when he came out there by himself with the shredder mask and all that stuff. Charlotte, I'm so sorry. I'm mixing all people names, but Scarlett coming out with him. As I was watching and I was taking my little notes and everything like that, and I was looking, and I just said, "Wow, this just changes everything." It's amazing how that one little detail.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Like, what was the thought? I'm still trying to figure out the thought process behind ever, splitting them up. To this day, I'm quite confused, actually.
I love it. I'm quite confused. I'm very. It is confusing because that was something, and I remember like thinking to myself, like Karrion was never one of my guys, right? Like he wasn't someone I was, not necessarily not rooting for, but I sat here and said I understood the appeal. He had the height, he had the look, and all that stuff. So I sat there and said, "Oh, this is going to be one of their guys, absolutely, right?" And they sat here and said, "Let's put a mask on you and do all that." I don't understand what that thought process is, and I sit here and say, I'm glad that we have a new regime where, like, I feel like people are going to actually get an opportunity. I think once they took Scarlett away from him and they did all these other they just pretty much cut him they cut his leg, but they kicked his knee from underneath his leg, something like that. I think that's a term. Yeah, it's a term. I think Owen Hart said that he kicked his leg from underneath his knee. It was something like that. It's a hilarious remark. It's a hilarious quote in wrestling history. But they really took away. When they stripped that away, it hurt him a lot. Messina go in the ring, and then he comes in the ring and he does this thing, and I totally agree. It was never meant to be anything spectacular. It's just to show, hey, he beats people. Because you remember
painfully.
Yeah. Oh my God, Drew Gulak. There was this spot, right? And I feel like we're digging a lot into something that's just pretty much was a squash. But he hit him with this backdrop, dropped this dude on his neck. I said, "Jeez, man." So I mean, good for him. I know he said a lot of stuff about being in the Universal Championship picture. Well, I had to wait and see how that goes and stuff like that. But I mean, I'll ask this. Do you think it's too soon for him to go for the Universal Championship? Or yes. Just the championship? Okay.
Yes. He needs to go maybe like, he would have to face Gunther. It's like really intimidating champions on SmackDown. It's very hard.
I gotta sit here and say, and I can't wait until we do the prediction shows. That's why the prediction part. I'm sorry, I said show. I mean, this is the SmackDown review show, but we're going to review a little bit of everything here. But you mentioned Gunther, and I know we're going to talk about him a little bit later because his boy Ludwig, was it Ludwig? I feel like I'm not saying it with the right pronunciation, but he went against Butch. Yes, Ludwig. Oh no, you muted yourself, sweetheart. You muted yourself. I'm sorry. How would you say it? No, how do you? It's fine. It is fine. It is fine. I saw you saying like, and I said I can't hear you. It is fine. How do you say it? How do you say it?
I think it's Ludwig.
I think it's Lug. It's like Lug. It's
Lug because you're putting an extra G that isn't even there.
Because I'm a G.
No, that's not how names work.
For me, it do. My universe. Wow, that's intimidating. So yeah, Karrion Kross kills Drew Gulak. Then the next, I feel like I'm missing a segment here. So, but bear with me here.
See, hold up.
Oh, you took notes. You was making sure if I was doing homework. Okay.
I'm asking if I missed something. If you took notes.
Why didn't you tell me you were wearing pink? I was gonna wear pink. You didn't tell me.
This was a very, very last minute decision. There's no thought behind this shirt.
That's me anytime I just put on clothes.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Go ahead. It works.
So now we have the maximum male model.
Oh, that's what I missed. Okay. Right. Okay.
I mean, they're just really funny. Like, honestly, I think they're just there for that. And you need that for any show. You need the comedic relief, And I am entertained by them.
Oh,
Lord.
Oh man. Yeah, it's funny how the whole atmosphere just changed, right? But I wanted to ask you, so because I know that's your guy, LA Knight, was it Drake, was it Eli Drake? I'm sorry, I had to think about it. Eli Drake. And he's doing this stuff. So I don't know. I said and said, hey, and I agree with what you said. I totally agree with that. You need a little bit of everything. Everyone can't be like the wrestler who don't speak or the character. Like, you just need that funny act.
Yeah.
I don't know if I find them like funny. I see them and I see like the dude. I see Mansoor, who they used to just throw out there anytime they went to Saudi Arabia, and then you have what's the big?
I think it's Masse.
It might be. I don't know, but he. I just remember he used to be a part of
Retribution.
See, I almost said Day of Reckoning. That was an old Nintendo GameCube game. It was a wrestling game. What do you want from me?
It was.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I actually really did.
Oh.
Yeah, Randy had like the orange shorts in there.
See, I don't know what color the shorts was. So I you know what? I'll take your word on it. I don't know what color the shorts. I remember Stacy Keibler was on the cover. Yeah. I don't know what color the get together. So they have this match. Hit Row wins. Hit Row has to win. I mean, it's just they have to. And and like once again, I talk about this regime. I really like how these guys are getting a chance. I felt like a lot of times these guys didn't even get a chance. I felt like they debuted. They took it's Brand. I think her real name is Brandy, but I can't think of her actual like wrestling name. But thank you. And they took her away. They took her away, and then they had Swerve, Top Dollar, and Adonis, and then they didn't do anything with them, and then they all would let go. So I really like that they're just giving these guys a chance a little bit, giving them a chance. Let me ask, if I can ask real quick, because we don't do SmackDown Lives a lot, reviews, but let me ask, do you feel that it's different without Swerve?
No. Not really. There was no difference. What was it? I don't see any difference between when Swerve was with them versus them now. Honestly. He rapped. I mean, but they rapped as well, so it's like, yeah.
No, I asked that question because you know how sometimes like when you miss a key member and you're like, hey, how was this versus this? Like how was this group without?
Well, he's not really a key member because they were already a group before him.
And you see, and that's funny. I learned that. I just learned that not that long ago. So I know what I see on TV. Yeah. I don't know what they do on the not I don't want to say the indie run, but like house shows and all that stuff. So I learned about that later on, and they were even pointing out like, yeah, we were a thing before we had Swerve. And I think it just helped all four people, all people involved here because you had Swerve, we had hey, look at everyone in the chat right here. What is going on? I don't even know where all this came from, but
it was not showing all
this. It really wasn't. And you know what? We want Cap, why don't we get into the chat real quick because that came out of nowhere. It just startled the hell out of me. Like I didn't know. We were just talking wrestling, but we see H-Man in there for a tape show. It was good.
I couldn't even see it this whole time.
I'm sorry we didn't see it. We wasn't ignoring you guys. We miss you guss. We miss you guys so much. Love the fact that we're getting reaction even though the crowd was sitting for a long time. Isn't that something? Like, I don't think I could sit there for a long period of time and give a reaction because my butt would fall asleep. Maxine. Okay. What else we got? What else we got? Hey, what's going on? We apologize. We really didn't see nothing. We were just talking. That's when we saw everything. We were just like,
about this show.
last year he was bondage. Oh my God. What's going on, H man? How are you, partner?
What's going on? No, I'm serious. I'm a little bit disturbed here.
Was that JBL? That was definitely his voice in the horn. His voice was in the horns. It's hey, we miss you folks. You gotta forgive us. It's been a while. We were just talking and we didn't know you guys, but we're glad that you are here and joining us. And we just want to sit here and say we miss you guys. What else we got in the chat before we go any further? Because we're gonna do a review predictions. We got someone waiting in the wings, ready to fly to talk predictions. What else? George said his for a tape show was good. He said we're gonna talk a little NXT. We're gonna talk a little NXT, George. What else we got? What else we got here? You want to go a little further down, Kat, please?
Enjoy your time at work, Charlene.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by to say hello, but make sure that you know, if your boss catch you watching us, give him the chicken wing. That teaches them a lesson all the time. And if you need anything, send them my way, because then I'll send them someone else's way. That's how things work. JBL, limo, and the voice in the limo, and the like the horns just spoke. What else
I mean,
we got?
a lot of people are saying it was his voice, so I mean.
But it do sound like him. I mean, when you sent me something back, and I because at first I didn't recognize the voice. Everyone kept saying, "Is that JBL?" Yes, go ahead.
You know what?
No.
Stop it! It makes perfect sense. If you really think about it, now stay with me. Baron Corbin. And like I'd say personality wise, or in how he moves and his
you talking about how he has that rich personality?
He has a very similar like how he is to JBL.
What, he's Texan?
As a heel, like they have a lot of similarities. Like he reminds me of him just from like how he talks, how he goes about things, and he's a big man as well, just like JBL, very tall, like
I was gonna say tall. I see him because he's tall.
Yeah, I really do see the similarities. Oh my god, it's perfect.
We're gonna actually just kick through the SmackDown and then start doing predictions here. So we're not gonna do a commercial, but we're gonna get here and get through this.
Ronda beats up Adam Pearce now.
Yeah, breaks his own. But I mean, you don't call the woman the baddest woman on the planet. You don't use the B word.
You don't.
You do not do that.
You deserve
Honestly,
it.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm surprised he's still alive.
Me too.
Because you see, I always throw this out here. So Liv Morgan should have technically lost to Ronda Rousey because she was at a disadvantage. And you might say, why was she at a disadvantage? Do not roll your eyes at me. Let me make my point. Let me make my point. She was at a disadvantage. You know why she was at a disadvantage? Because Ronda was in a standing vertical. So she was immediately going to get mauled. I leave it at that. But Adam Pearce got pierced by Ronda Rousey and her armbar. You don't call that woman that. I'm surprised that there was not blood on the floor. Or what Michael Jackson said, blood stains on the carpet. I like smooth criminal, ladies and gentlemen. Or folks in the crowd chat. What else do we have here, Captain?
Okay, so after that, we have Maximum Male Models versus Hit Row.
We talked about this, no?
Whoa. No, we did not. We talked about the segment. We didn't talk about the match.
Oh, no. Let's talk about the match.
Hit Row wins. Los Lotharios. They attempted to assist Maximum Male Models in the after match beatdown. Didn't go the way they wanted, or it did. Depends on who you ask. Yeah, a lot of people felt like this whole segment and like everything, with it was kind of messy. But
sure,
what one person said, which I do agree, is like they're trying to rebuild the tag division, I feel. And, that means you're going to have to kind of shove people in and stuff to like reestablish these teams to the
Right.
people watching, the casual fan who isn't like up to date and isn't like on Twitter, keeping up and all this stuff.
That's an interesting point, and you said a lot of good stuff because you're smart. So I agree with that because like a lot of people don't know who Hit Row is. They probably didn't even remember them from when they get let go. It was like November of last year, right? They didn't have a long stay on the main roster, so they got to look like a threat. Everyone has. I feel like a lot of people have seen the was it Maximum Model? I'm sorry,
Maximum Male Models.
It's too many M's. But grow up. But a lot of people have seen their segments. They'll more featured on SmackDown. So I think them. Because I didn't even realize we were just talking about the segment. I felt like we were just talking about the match in general. But good job on you. And them losing, sure, whatever. I don't think it bothers anyone. But I do want to ask. Did you? So I think we all knew LA Knight was going to be called to the main roster. Did you want more for him, or are you like, this is fine, this is okay? Or do you still want more for him?
I still do want more for him. I think that he has so much to offer. Like, just seeing how easily he was able to just, like, get over, in NXT. I think he could do that on the main roster. I mean, he has it all, essentially. He definitely can hold his own in the ring, as we've seen. He obviously can more than hold his own on the mic. He has charisma up the wazoo. Like, he really has everything you're looking for.
I'm sorry, where is this? Where is this coming from? Up from the where?
Wumbo.
Stop. You're going to stop bringing up the SpongeBob references. Stop that.
Wumbo! So, yeah, I just think that he has so much more to offer besides being like a manager. And I think with, Triple H at the helm, that will definitely become something that will, come to fruition for sure.
And I kind of want to touch a little bit about because he had an interview today, and I can never pronounce this man's name to save my life because I can't pronounce names to save my life, period. But he had a really interesting interview, and maybe we could touch on that a little bit later because, like I said, we're reviewing SmackDown, but we're also reviewing a little bit of everything on wrestling because, I mean, George was in the chat saying we owe him an NXT review. But, George, we promise we'll be here.
Oh, my God.
I know, right? But we'll be here Tuesday to give a whole review on NXT. But we'll talk a little NXT. So I'm glad to know that he really tunes in for the NXT. We got Derek. What is going on, Derek? More for LA Knight and what? He's not going to be mid-card champion. Matter of fact, let's highlight that, please. More for LA Knight and what way? He's not going to be mid-card champion, but rather a character that can handle wrestling roles when needed. What do you say? Because I know you, LA Knight is your guy. I mean, what do you say to that?
I think with the right backing behind him, which I feel like he has, he could get to that point. I really do think he could win a mid-card title. It just all depends on the right, how the person who is behind it is pushing it. And I feel like Triple H gets LA Knight. Clearly, Triple H gets LA Knight to some extent because, I mean, they work together with this character in NXT. So I have high hopes. I really do.
Speaking of, we mentioned the match with Hit Row and Maximum Male Models. They took the loss. We got, I believe the next one was Baron Corbin. He comes out.
He does. Right? He's all upset.
That's. We live in New York, folks. What do you want from us? It's the city that never sleeps. How you doing? But we have to don't mute. No. Don't mute nothing. Don't you be ashamed of nothing. The other day I did a show and I heard something munching in the back. It was my hamster, and I didn't even know I had a hamster. But we have Nakamura again. You got to unmute yourself.
I got to. This is a true statement that was said, but I don't feel like LA Knight has been damaged because when he came up to the main roster, he wasn't even his character, so there's nothing to be damaged. So that character from NXT has not been messed up. If he reverts back to that character, I think he'll be fine. This character, Max, I mean, what? They could just leave one day back.
H-Man said something really interesting. He said, but remember, LA Knight was used properly under Shawn Michaels, not Triple H. But I think Triple H still. When did Triple H had that thing? When did Shawn Michaels take over? Because I feel like Triple H still had a little something to do with that, but I don't remember the timeline.
Well, LA Knight came somewhere towards
June or July, right? It was like June or July.
There during the Gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
had his issues until 2.0 was like halfway. Like I think it was very recent.
Okay.
So I think Triple H was still around for that. Because I mean, LA Knight had some stuff.
And everybody in the chat, if you know the actual timeline, please tell us, because I'm just trying to. And I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like I feel like Triple H still had something to do with LA Knight, but I just don't remember the timeline where, he stepped away, and then Shawn Michaels. I feel like Shawn Michaels just got power a few months back, but I don't remember for sure. And they're saying H-Man saying he peaked at after War Games, and we have Derek. He said this is 1 year. This is the 1 year mark where Triple H's health issues started. September 1st, before he was losing everything. And that's what I'm trying to figure out, when was everything. But if Derek,
did he have his feud with Cameron Grimes before or after 2.0? Because if he had it
before, it was before.
So it was before. Yeah, so then he was doing just fine, because I think LA Knight was his best at that point, because he had the whole stuff with Ted DiBiase. So everything I said still counts. So
when she does like this, that means she's getting ready to drop an elbow drop. If she does like that, I know that.
And that was a high point for him. That whole Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase. I remember that distinctly, and I enjoyed that feud because I thought he was his best heel yet. His best heel work.
I mean, and I think he's a tremendous heel. When he gets the mic, he's on fire. I mean, when we were viewing NXT 2.0 and Gunther, he sat there and said, "Yeah, you're a good wrestler, but you got to learn how to talk." And what'd you say, Gunther? He made Gunther not look like Gunther.
He got him bad. Like he got him so bad. I was like, ugh. It was
so he got him so bad, but Gunther got him at the end though.
He did.
He honestly chopped him out of NXT.
Gunther always gets everyone at the end though. That's just kind of his thing, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you can't run from his chop, yeah, he's gonna get you.
So Barry gets in the limo. Everybody thinks it's JBL. I mean, I think this is finally him getting some real direction, because him just like walking around being like, "I'm happy Corbin." Oh, with that horrendous.
Did you hear the voice, ladies and gentlemen? What was the voice? Do it one more time.
Better. What was the voice? He did, "Happy Corbin." Is that one? Is that one? I feel like he had way better music.
I love you know what makes me laugh? Every time I hear this, it reminds me of Pitbull. I'm just waiting for Pitbull to do like that.
Oh my God. I know, right? Exactly.
With the white shirt and like wine spilled on his white shirt. That's all I expect every time I see him. I expect him to go, "Hey, yo!" Because Pitbull is very loud, and I'm not a fan of loud. I'm not a fan of loud people.
Imagine he comes out with a cowboy hat and stuff. That'd be interesting.
With the glasses?
Yeah.
I'm like, it ain't 2010 anymore. Get the hell out of here. Shut up.
All right, so we have Butch versus Ludwig.
This was good. This was good. I thought this was really good. I don't want to like make this like, oh, this was a 5-star at the Tokyo Dome. But I thought it was really good. It was really good. Stop it. You gotta get together. You gotta be mature here. What are you doing? But I thought this was really good. It was so this show is taped. And earlier, I feel like you guys heard me earlier when I was talking, but we were going to pinpoint certain things that I thought was important. We were going to talk. I felt like Karrion Kross's debut, re-debut, Roman Reigns celebration of 2 years, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And the fact that we had Butch, but he came out as Pete Dunne. Like he had the bruiserweight gear because he's usually coming out, with like the wife beater and the pants and the matter of fact, oh God, I'm sorry, I can't think of not Michael Cole. What's his partner's name? I'm sorry, I'm blinking. Yes, Pat McAfee. He said Butch got his hair back. And I was trying to figure out when did he lose his hair. But I'm like, right, he always had like a hat and stuff. So, and I just thought this match was good. And I think, and it's funny that this match would happen the week of the last week of NXT UK. I honestly thought that just how ironic that is. I thought it was good. Butch is great. I mean, Butch is great. If you watch his stuff in NXT UK or just even NXT, you know how good this guy is. I prefer him as a heel because there was a time in NXT he was kind of like that babyface stuff. But when he's a heel, because he just looked like someone who just steps on your shoes. Like there's certain people you look at, you know, they step on your shoes and they don't say sorry. Like I'm a sorry guy. I'm like, yo, my bad, dude. I'm sorry. But no, he looked like he was suited and then tobacco spit right on the side of you, which is gross. Don't do that, everybody. That's disgusting. What did you think about this match, Captain?
I mean, I thought it was a great match. I expected nothing less. You know,
right.
See those two, it's kind of hard to think otherwise. I'm such a big fan of Ludwig Kaiser.
I think that's how you say his name, right? I feel like it's Ludwig because, like, yeah, like
exaggerate it, and then it's like, girl, why are you exaggerating it? It's Ludwig. See, this is my issue.
Well, girl, I'm sorry, I exaggerated.
Okay. Anyways, I didn't like to see him lose, but I get that it's kind of like you have to kind of 50-50 it. I know he'll get his win back at some point, and I just see so much potential in him. So even as a singles star. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I really do. But you know, also gotta love Butch. So it's like, damn. But
this was a fun match, though. I gotta say, I feel like no matter who win or loss, which honestly Butch had to win, but I feel like as fans we would have won this because it was really good, and because we're gonna get ready to do predictions, that's why we're just running through the show as quick. But let's talk about this. Well, that was actually the main event, but the main event was the celebration of Roman Reigns' 2 years his championship win from. It wasn't SummerSlam. What was it? It wasn't SummerSlam. It was the pay-per-view after. What pay-per-view was that? I forget. I'm sorry. And it was 2 years ago. I can promise you. What was it?
You don't remember. Why are you asking me?
Because I've always said you're the smarter one out of the both of us. And apparently, whoops. But I want to talk a little bit about this his title reign, right? Because I was talking to a friend, and thank you. This guy's a genius. This guy. You know what I believe? I believe, Derek. I hope all is well with you, sir. I just believe that he is Professor Xavier. He has this thing. I always forget what that thing is. He has it over his head, and he has infinite wrestling knowledge, and he can just go back all the way to the 1920s. This man has had infinite knowledge. Yes, Roman is the GOAT. I was talking to a friend, and some guy was like, yo, Roman Reigns' title reign has been boring. I really don't think it's that. I really genuinely don't think that. I think that his run. Go ahead. You want to take the floor? Sure.
What I want to say anyways, what I wanted to say, I hate living in New York. Listen.
I don't. Well, no, I actually do. It's expensive out here. It is. I don't know what's going on. What happened? One of the Ninja Turtles break into your house?
Maybe. You hear this? You just keep talking. I will say my opinion later.
No, take the floor. Go ahead. They know we live in New York. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is I don't listen to anybody about any type of reign these days because they're stupid and they can't deal with these type of they're not used to those long reigns. Like if you would bring up Bruno Sammartino and his reigns to them, they would probably their heads would explode. So I don't care what anyone has to say about a long reign these days because just shush. You don't know what greatness looks like. You're in the middle of greatness and you're complaining. I don't want to hear it.
I want to throw this out here to the chat. What do you think about Roman Reigns' 2-year championship reign? Because I know you're giving me the floor. I was going to say if you can, but as I take the floor, I really have enjoyed his reign. I don't find it boring. I think I threw the question out to a friend and I said, and listen, wrestling is so subjective. So I want everyone to know it's a safe spot here when I ask this question. Who do you think had a better title reign? Kenny Omega or Roman Reigns? My guy said Kenny Omega. Now, I'm not going to lie, I laughed. And I laughed because I think the thing with Roman is presentation here. Roman has been, and the captain is clearly laughing more than I did. She's doing the laughing for me. And that's no disrespect to Kenny Omega. I don't want to disrespect Kenny Omega's body of work. But Roman Reigns, his body of work, the way the presentation, the way he comes out, everything from Paul Heyman to the Usos to his matches. No, he's not a flashy guy. He gets stuff done. He gets stuff done. And that's what matters because he gets it done. And when he beats people, and I think it's amazing. I think this is so amazing. And some I've learned as I get older, how it's so simplistic how stuff can get over. I went to an MSG show, and I know a lot of people can vouch for this. All Roman did was this, and everyone ate it up. Everyone was sitting there. Matter of fact, some people didn't even have a fork. They look like Pac-Man. They ate it up. And there's people who break their bodies, and people don't care. And here we have Kenny Omega was getting beat by Marco.
Okay, so he tried to say a forbidden sentence and his internet froze. So
am I better? Am I back? Am I back? Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
I'm so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, or folks. Go ahead.
So we're not going to say this because clearly that's a cursed statement, but it definitely is very factual.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Himanshu. You know this. Let me put it this way.
Sure.
One reign will be talked about, just talked about.
That's true.
For years to come. The other will be the occasional tweet that you see online where someone says, "Man, this reign was underrated," because no one talks about it. That's why. So yeah, Roman is better.
I want to highlight Derek right here because I want to highlight you guys. Matter of fact, I want to get George real quick. Eventually, he has to lose one of those titles, possibly the WWE Championship. We're going to get the predictions. What else Roman's supposed to do? Have competitive matches with nobody's like, and I don't want to disregard these people. Like I don't, because that's just not what I do. But I'm sorry, you wanted to click that? He said, I think Roman has elevated into the I almost said atmosphere, but stratosphere. See, I learned how to read. Of one of the 10 performers. You're laughing because I said that. That's not. I thought this was a safe spot. It's not. In WWE history, considering I can't see that part because there's some words. They have stars like Bruno, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, HBK, Brock Lesnar. What's so funny?
I keep muting my mic. Let me read it, please, because you're gonna make me have an aneurysm. Okay.
Well, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry.
I think Roman has elevated into the stratosphere of one of the 10 best performers in WWE history, considering they had stars like Bruno Sammartino, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, HBK, Brock Lesnar, and John Cena.
No, but Roman is great, and I really love this reign. And I honestly, spoiler, matter of fact, I'll save it for when we do predictions because we're gonna get ready to do predictions right after we finish this. Because we're gonna do a commercial and then get into predictions from both Worlds Collide and Clash of the Champion. What was I gonna get at? Pretty much the segment was supposed to be a celebration for Roman. He gets out of his limo. He gets Claymore. We see a foot, but we all know who's. Well, that sounds like someone. We all know who this is. It's Drew. Drew and who? Matter of fact, can I say and talk about Roman real quick? can I sit here and mention this real quick? I love wrestling so much. Like I never even try to question it as much, but I love how we have a celebration for Roman, and then he just drives in like, oh, this is for me. Like he's not even there. He's just let me just get there. I love professional wrestling. It's someone can get burnt and is still employed. I do that. They would tell me I'd be serving jail time. But he gets Claymored. Drew McIntyre just destroys the whole bloodline. I do want to say Sammy was great here. He was really, really great here because when he was trying to talk, bet 100. And they had it was like, yo, what are you doing? Sammy is so great. I gotta really say that. Sammy is an MVP. It's gonna be interesting when him and KO team up again to go against the Usos. Sammy's great. I gotta say, Sammy's great. I've always and I want to just throw it out here. When he first turned heel, I had no faith in it. But as years went on, he's great. Like he's just an annoying heel. Some people say he's become Woody Harrison, the way he talks. And Derek mentions, can we talk how Sami Zayn dances like Chris Brown or Usher? No, he tries. He tries. I think he tries because I think Usher would dance that mofo to the ground. Like Usher does this thing where you remember that music video? It was because you remind me. He did this ankle move. I did it and I sprained my ankle.
Don't do it again. Don't do the ankle move again.
Don't tell me what to do, sweetheart. Please don't do that.
Can I speak a little bit on this?
Absolutely. The floor is yours.
I just want to say that I really enjoyed this segment. Again, I think Sammy is amazing. They're really partying, but I think Sammy is amazing, and I think he stepped into that role. This is the blessed longevity role that some step into. If I could name like 2 people who've been in that role recently, I'd say R-Truth and Santino. There's a sacred, amazing role.
And when you say that, I'm sorry, just to give more content, what do you mean by that?
The comedic timing character who's all the important up there roles and is able to kind of tap into that funny side that's needed. It can't just be all serious. 11 flips, 20 kicks. It has to be some entertainment in between.
5,000 at the Tokyo Dome. A lot of people were giving a lot of credit too, and I think I would have to watch it back. But I was at this year's WrestleMania, and he had that match with Johnny Knoxville. But he even said that was one of his favorite matches, and it was honestly silly. It was really, really silly. I mean, he got pinned by a giant mousetrap, as you will. So you bring a lot of knowledge. You're so smart and you're so incredible. But with all that said, that's pretty much SmackDown, and we're gonna do some predictions. And we're going to have a guest, but as we get ready to do that, we are going to we're going to play a commercial and then come back with predictions.
Hold up. We have Pretty Deadly versus Don't Start With Your Foolery versus Briggs and Jensen for the UK tag title. So, Pretty Deadly. I already know Pretty Deadly can put on really great matches. And I think Briggs and Jensen can as well, but they haven't done it as much as Pretty Deadly, so I've kind of been waiting. But this match showed me that they definitely have come up to par. They're great. And here you go. Like, you just hate them so bad. What did they do to you? I understand that, Jensen's, jorts were a little bit a lot today, end up retaining. How do you feel? I don't know how to calm this man down.
She never will, ladies and gentlemen. Never, ever will. But we're going to do predictions. You want to bring yourself in, sir, as we do these predictions?
Yeah. Kind of disturbed. I was called a guest. Like, really, SmackDown used to be my show.
That's true. That's true. And you know what? I apologize.
Right.
You know what? I apologize. Let me redo that. Not a guest, but making his return to Friday Night SmackDown is the executive consultant. We're into the executives. Sir, how are you?
Well, now that I think about it, I guess I am a guest because, I mean, technically I didn't do the SmackDown portion. But I do want to address some things. One, Pretty Deadly is pretty damn cool, right? I like Pretty Deadly. That's one. Yeah. Two, Roman Reigns is having the greatest world title reign I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't care what anybody says. Compare it with that Kenny Omega AEW world title run, which is a pretty good run, but still nowhere near the level of God mode. Roman Reigns is doing a very good job. Let's put that comment back up there. I'll read it and we can get into these predictions. Derek Mitchell, what's going on? This is what WWE allows wrestlers like Sami Zayn, R-Truth, The Miz, Dexter Lumis. Anyone can put on boots and be a wrestler. WWE has always provided entertainment to the masses. To Captain's point, you need some levity and everything can't always be serious at all times. Sami Zayn does a very good job. This is leading. And to Ron's point, Sami Zayn is doing a tremendous job as a heel, and I didn't think he would either. But for the last 4 to 5 years, he's been doing a damn good job as a heel to the point I could not even see him as a babyface again because he was doing such a good job. But we know this storyline is leading to him eventually turning face, eventually teaming up with Kevin Owens, and eventually going after the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships.
Yes. And I gotta say, like, you know, and I'm glad that you said all that because I thought it was just me. Because when he turned here, I was like, I don't see. Because I was looking at that NXT run. He had that, even when he was on the main roster. I mean, he had that great match with Kevin Owens, and I know they mentioned that 2 weeks ago or something like that. Like this incredible match that they had. I think it was at Battleground, and I'm like, wow, that many years have went by, and that's all.
Battleground 2016, Washington D.C. I was there.
It must have been a great show.
It was a great show. Headlined by the Shield triple threat match, the only one recorded.
Absolutely. So we're here, and you're joining us for predictions. So why don't we jump? Well, tomorrow is, Clash at the Castle. I said Clash of the Champions. Clash at the Castle.
It's called Cardiff. Everybody was confusing it, so they said say Cardiff.
Well, you know, my speech won't allow me to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into that. And why don't we start off with this? You know what? You know, you said you're the guest. You said it yourself, but let's start off with this because what we got here? Yeah, Solo Sikoa could be the one to replace Sammy. I do want to talk about that, but I want to get into predictions first. So why don't we jump up with this?
Yeah, because we have to talk about it because it's like the fourth time. You know, I've been backstage. It's like the fourth time George has mentioned that. So the incomparable George Samuel Lewis obviously was.
How dare you? Don't do that to the Sweaterverse, George. He's a great guy, and he just wanted
Joshua Dawkins.
No, who?
I'm sorry. No, he has a new name on NXT. He says Sweater Vest. There's somebody who goes around. He's on NXT Level Up all the time.
Andre Chase?
No.
Andre Chase wears a vest, no?
No, it's not. It's somebody else who goes on the sweater thing all the time.
Malik Blade.
There you go. Him. He used to be Joshua Dawkins. I actually was going to manage him before he left the promotion we were in. But yeah. For all those people that wanted Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to join AEW, look at them now thriving in WWE. That gets to be said about 75% of the wrestlers who WWE went to AEW instead of going to AEW, and a lot of wrestlers who probably wish they stayed in WWE.
I wanted to touch on a lot of. I didn't mean to cut you off, but there was a lot of stuff I actually wanted to touch on because I did. I just made a legal just cut you off.
Habitual cut offer.
Thank you, sweetheart. So we don't. It's especially in New York. But you know, you were saying that, and this is obviously a lot of rumors now about how a lot of AEW. No, I don't want to say a lot, but there was a few people in AEW that said they wanted to actually get their release. So I was just saying that one.
That's an unconfirmed rumor, okay? But we can talk about all that after we get into these predictions, which I'm here to join you for.
Yes, so let's do that. So let's start with this match. We have the SmackDown Women's Champion, or he's already upset. I already see the vein in his neck.
How do we start off with this bullshit? Is my question.
First off, this is our show. You said you're the guest. How dare you use such disgusting language here? So we're going to
put disgusting pictures up.
Really? Okay. Well, we're going to start with you, Captain, and then the executive consultant. But we have here Liv Morgan defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. Captain, who's your prediction? And chat, please join in, by the way. But go ahead.
I definitely think Liv is winning. I just don't see her losing. I see maybe her feud with Ronda picking up and her having like a second match, I guess, because she'll be like, "Hey, you kind of tapped, so you owe me that." I don't see Shayna winning for that reason because I feel like her and Ronda have not been completely wrapped up yet.
The executive consultant.
First of all, I just want to mention how upset I am, right, that we had to start off with this.
Okay.
What do you see in this? Can you put that matchup back on the screen? Can we do that, please?
There we go. This is why he wanted to come here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I did. I forgot all about this. Even though she was on tonight, but it was a quick segment, so I was able to hold my food down. But all right, so you see this person, and you're like, wow, why is this match on the card? Right? It's because Shayna Baszler is such a fantastic wrestler.
I agree.
That's why it's on the card. But a couple months ago, up to a year ago, possibly even longer than that, I used to talk about the women were the best part of the show, right? They were the best part of the show. They were getting banger after banger. They had some great champions out there. I was loving. Do you hear me, Cap? I was loving the women on Raw. I was loving the women on SmackDown. I was, tolerating the women on NXT. But then I've had the worst 3 months of WWE women I have ever seen in my life. And you might be asking me, why, executive consultant? Why? I'll tell you why. One is because this woman is your SmackDown World Champion.
How did I get there?
Terrible. This woman is your 24/7 champion. I wish they scrapped that and they scrap her, right? And then after Monday, this piece of trash is your tag team champion. These are 3 of the worst wrestlers in WWE. Why are they champions? Why are they champions? Y'all been on air for 56 minutes. The haters already arrived here. Now, that being said, the logical choice for this would be to give that championship to Shayna because your money match is Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey did a tremendous job in her segment on SmackDown, in my opinion. Partially because Adam Pearce played his role very, very well tonight. Triple H took over, and he said, everybody deliver a fiery promo. And that's what they did. Adam Pearce even did that. Oh, you think it's easy, ready? No. Okay, well, you should have had Sonya Deville fired. But anyway, this is just picking up the storyline that should have happened with him and Brock Lesnar because I felt like they just dropped that storyline. WWE is a little discriminatory against women because when Brock Lesnar paid his fine, he all of a sudden got to come back. Ronda paid her fine. Oh, we're going to have you arrested. Like, come on with the double standard, son. I'm glad he got put in that arm bar. Shayna Baszler is my pick for the win. Oh, and not for nothing. You know what? Ron said it incorrectly earlier tonight, but it did not occur to us. It did not hit us over the head, even though it should have. And both of us are stupid for it. That you and Shayna Baszler share the same first name. I don't know why it never clicked either, right? But it's just like, come on, Shayna. You know what I'm saying? Just that one has a terrible tag team partner coming up tomorrow, and the other has a terrible tag team partner each and every single Tuesday. Ron, if you want to talk about your prediction, let's hear it.
I'm glad that you bored everyone to death because, God, I was ready to go to sleep because, you talk a lot. You wear your little Stevie Wonder glasses.
You said something about going to sleep?
Yeah, because you're amazing.
You said something about going to sleep?
Yeah, well, didn't you text? Oh.
You said something about going to sleep?
Kat, why did you invite this guy on the show again? Like,
whoa.
Why was he invited? Oh, look. Oh, I could spike ratings, and all you do is spiking my blood pressure. So anyway, let me sit here as I can sit here and talk here for a minute. Yeah, shut up. First off, he don't even read sarcasms when I sit here. You're good. You're good. Anytime you're ready for a promo battle, kid, I'm there for you. Look at him drinking his water, like he sit here and drink water. Look at me for the water.
I don't have high blood pressure.
Well, it only happens when you're on air. That's the only time where it really sets me off.
Never let one person affect your aura.
What was you going to say, Dr. Seuss? It sounded like you were trying to say some good stuff, but you're not. Not at all. Continue to do the audio stuff. But anyway, for my prediction about this match, I want Shayna to win. That's the matter of it. That's the fact of the matter is Shayna should win. She should destroy this girl. She really should. When Liv was sitting there saying, I'm going to break your arm, it just reminded me of any time the executive consultants sit here and try to make false promises because he never lives up to anything. And I sat there and said, oh, that's cute. But Liv Morgan is going to get
Did
the
you
win.
say it correctly? Because you screw up all your sentences and phrases.
Not as much as a goatee, because that looked really shitty.
I'm sorry. I should have added some extra, glow and wetness and, some hair club for men or whatever the hell you put in your little shit.
No,
but in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about.
You're not going to cut me the fuck off. You're not going to come on here.
That's your thing. You cut people off.
I've seen you drive. You have cut people off.
I, however, go into the next part, and we are doing 2 pay-per-views, right? 2 PLEs. Let's go to the next match. We talked about Liv Morgan long enough.
Let's go into the next segment. Oh, okay. No one's going to.
We'll see.
We're going to click here.
So what's the next match on the card?
You know what? Right here, we have Judgment Day against Edge and Rey Mysterio. We'll start off with his ex-consultant because he has these long tirades. So why don't you kick it off and then cap?
One thing I have to say, and I've been saying this on the show with the Unpopular Review Wrestling Podcast with Big Daddy.
Please advertise that.
Yes.
Thank you. I was doing that. But anyway, I'm sorry. So I forgot what I was going to say. You totally screwed me up.
Well, I can't help that you're 52.
The Judgment Day, I feel like have turned a good direction. They become more dominant. They're becoming more threatening. They've had more of a presence to them than the first time they've had it since they lost Edge, right? Now, granted, they still haven't been winning their matches like that. However, they don't look bad in losing. Because as soon as they lose, somebody's getting their ass whooped back 9 times out of 10 is Dominic. Now, that being said, it is time for them to pick up a W. And even though this has been something that's been predicted well over a year now, I do believe finally is the time Dominic turns on Edge and his father, and he joins the Judgment Day, causing them to get the victory. The Judgment Day picks up the victory. They're going to be your winners this Saturday at Cardiff.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Captain.
I agree. They are definitely winning. I feel it in my bones. And, home court advantage for Finn. Okay? Whatever.
Ooh, I disagree there, Derek.
So I definitely think that Judgment Day is winning. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. Yay! Finally, Finn is being treated how he needs to be treated. Booked correctly. Given some correct direction. That's it. I'm a happy camper. Like, I'm happy.
As much as you get upset over the booking in the direction of Finn, one thing I always say, whether it's Vince booking him or Triple H booking him, no matter who's booking him, Finn always has something going on. They have people back in catering a lot of times. That's Ricochet, that's T-Bar. People be on main event. Like, they're not on TV. But Finn Balor, when he's healthy, is on TV each and every single week. They always have to. I call it somewhere like Shinsuke. Shinsuke was always on TV unless he has a title. For some reason, when he has a title, he's off TV. But when he is not having a title, like tonight, they find a way to insert Shinsuke because they had that respect for that man. Finn Balor, they pay him a lot of money. They do have respect for him.
Yeah.
He's very good at putting people over, and he's very good at getting crowd participation, so to speak. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do see a better direction for him now. But I never feel like he was getting mistreated or misused, because if he was, he would be one of those people they rumored was going to AEW, and he never was in that rumor. Ever.
No. One thing I like, and what I will say about a good majority of the guys who came from that era of NXT is they definitely were more of the type to try and adapt to, what was going on in the main roster, as opposed to, let me go, complain. And, valid. Like, if you feel like you're not being, taken seriously and you don't really want to do the whole loop around and, try and adapt, that's on you. Choose that. That's for you. But I like the fact that, people like Sammy, Kevin, Finn, they stuck around and they adapted and they still, the cream always rises to the top, as they say.
Correct. And they have great things going on for him. I mean, look at Kevin Owens. He just main evented WrestleMania. People need to realize that as a moment you cannot take away from Kevin Owens.
Nope.
That's a possibility.
Regardless of this, I agree with both of you guys. I mean, I'm still not feeling Judgment Day like that, but I would sit here and say I do see them winning, and
the main card is dominated by Roman Reigns. We already seen what happens when you try to do that, so we don't need that for Finn right now. Okay.
I agree.
Oh, next match. Boom. I'll take. I want to leave because I really thought they had a really great segment on Monday. These guys, Matt Riddle and he's Matt Riddle again, and I guess Seth freaking Rollins. This match is going to be good. Like God, I hope I upload. I feel like I did not upload that match, but between these two, who wins between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins? I do. I mean, cheesy plug. The fans do because I just think they're just going to really deliver. These guys are going to go all out. And Seth Rollins, I feel like Matt Riddle wins because you put Matt Riddle over. I just feel like that's the right way to go. You go with Matt Riddle. But then I sit here and question, I'm like, well, Seth Rollins had a lot of losses in these pay-per-views the last, 3-4 months or something like that?
Yeah.
But I got to go with Matt. I just got to go with Matt. I mean, there was a certain fire that he had on Monday when he sat here and said, where you at, bro? And I'm going to F you up. And I got to go with Matt Riddle. I might change my answer tomorrow, but on air, I'm just going to say Matt Riddle.
I'll go. Yeah. I don't know. I see Seth winning because, like, as you say, he has not won in a very long time. But I also think that Seth is one of those people. He's reached a certain level where no loss really affects him, or it hasn't so far from what I've seen. He still has been able to carry himself like, that I'm the opportunity almost. He's the opportunity to face him, for him to put you over in terms of like him fighting for any type of title or, Money in the Bank or whatever. So I think Seth is going to win, but yeah, I'm going to go with Seth.
Seth Rollins has lost every single pay-per-view match he's had this year except for one, and that was by disqualification. Got his ass whooped at the end of that. That was against Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, and I mentioned this on Wednesdays Best Damn Show on radio with Mike Knox. Now, Seth Rollins wins all his Raw matches, right? For the most part, he wins every single one of those, but he loses the pay-per-view match. And Cap said it perfectly. He's at the point where he can lose a match and still be the man. 1, because of his music. 2, because of his wrestling style. 3, because he is Seth freaking Rollins at this point, right? And if you put a poll up, you say who's the weakest link in the Shield right now. Arguably, it's Seth Rollins because he doesn't have a world championship. But if you were to have a 3-man team and Seth Rollins is that weak link, that's a damn good trio, my man. That's a damn good trio.
I
agree.
agree.
Got the head of the table, number one. You got Jon Moxley, but he's extremely popular, right? Seth Rollins is going to take this victory. He needs the victory a little bit more because he's going to go into different things coming up soon. Where Matt Riddle, his feud, his end game is going to be Randy Orton when Randy Orton's healthy to come back, because that feud is going to happen. It's not going to be all warm and fuzzies where, RK Bro back together and then, win the titles again. No, it's going to be a RKO from Randy Orton to Matt Riddle, or RKO from Matt Riddle to Randy Orton. That's just how it's going to be. So Matt Riddle doesn't need to win this because he's got another feud coming already, and Seth Rollins needs to look strong going into his next feud eventually for the return of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the 17th match in a year. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I thought I had this picture, but I don't. But we'll jump into this, and then I'll just say. But we have a 6-women's tag. We have, I guess they call it Control, but I'm just gonna say Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair. Cap, why don't you start?
Yeah, so I feel like Bayley, Io, and Dakota have to win, right? I just feel like this is, Bayley's first big match back, and I just don't see how her losing would be the right decision. Even though I love Bianca, I love Alexa, love Asuka, obviously, but it has to be Bayley.
You want to take the floor?
The only reason I'm going to pick Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss is because when you look at this card, at least from my predictions anyway, could be wrong, of course, right? I have no insider information. But if you look at this card, it's very heel heavy on the victories. And they're out of the country and they like making people happy, right? So you have to have some baby faces win. I think this is the one you can get away with, which is why, unfortunately, that terrible decision where Io Sky and Dakota Kai did not. Oh my God, I can't believe they said that. Dakota Kai winning the title too. That's almost as boring. But anyway, Io Sky and Dakota Kai winning the women's tag team championships. Go ahead and give it to Bianca Belair. She is your current champion. She can pin Io Sky or Dakota Kai along with Alexa Bliss and Asuka, who I feel like they're going to end up feuding down the line anyway. And Bayley can still come out and make the challenge. Now, logically, I really want to go with Control so you can easily set up more and make more sense for Bayley to go after that Raw Women's Championship. But I just really feel like they just make people happy, and I have all heels win. This is the match you choose to have the baby faces win. I also think Bianca Belair is a little injured. She has not wrestled that much. She did have a 6-man tag, I think, the other night.
On Monday. Yeah, she did. On
Monday against some local jobbers. But also at the end of that night when they were chasing Bayley, after Bayley interfered in that match, she was limping a little bit. So I think she might be a little injured, but who knows? We'll see. I'm okay with I'm actually happier with Dakota Kai on the main roster than I thought I would be. I thought she would just flop, and I think she's actually been a little bit more mature and a little bit more poised than I initially thought she would be. However, the Bayley portion of it, I'm not there yet. Bayley's not as entertaining as she was before she left. My roommate, the technician, believes that she's nervous in front of the crowd. I don't see that. I just don't think this was the role for her to be in this group. I think she's better by herself and doing what she normally does. But I see the rub that she's giving them, and I think it's benefiting them but hurting her, if that makes sense. But I'm going to go with the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss, which is a dream team of women, by the way. Dream team of women.
I'm sorry, which team?
One team has Dakota Kai on it, so it's not going to be that team. It's Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. That is a dream women's.
Okay, so I'm going to give my predictions real quick right now.
Don't ever do that. I don't even know what you think this is. All right, you muted the executive consultant. Lost your mind. Go ahead.
I can't.
It's still right here, baby boy. But you said some good stuff here. You said something really interesting. I just wanted to point out. You said barely she hasn't been as entertaining, and you said something, and I wanted to say that totally makes sense. I get totally what you mean. Where barely by herself, she was doing all this stuff, and now she's trying to help these two, and it just seemed like it's affecting her. I just wanted to say I get what you're saying. I see the Hills winning. I just personally see the Hills winning. I think they need the win more than the babyface, and I think also too with the Hills winning, it can extend the story a lot longer. I feel like if the babyface win, they can win and the story can still be extended, of course. But I feel like if the babyface win, it's almost like, hey, we beat you guys, get out of here. But if the Hills do it, nah, we want to run that back because that was crap. And I just think they really need that. I think they really need that win. So I'm just gonna go with Control, or was it Damage Control, whatever they call it. But I'm just gonna say Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. I didn't have a picture. I thought I had this picture in here, and I don't. But I honestly think this is going to be one of the match. Because there's so many matches where you can sit here and say which is going to be the match of the weekend. But Sheamus against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and I said this a few weeks ago when I did me and Cap did a Raw review. I love how the mid-card titles are feeling so important. This title feels so important right now. When I was watching the show and you see Gunther in the ring and he's looking at I said Walter. Oh my God, it's getting late, ladies and gentlemen. But he's looking at Sheamus, and they want to fight. And I'm like, yo, this match, and this match is gonna be hard hitting because Sheamus was someone that I was just not a fan of years ago. He didn't fit for me. I was like, yeah, whatever. But years later, I was like, yo, I really respect what this guy does. What he does in the ring. And I know him and Gunther are just going to beat the hell out of each other. Like, there's going to be slaps, chops. It's going to be brutal. And I look forward to seeing that. But to get to the point, big, meaty men. Yes, big, meaty men beating big, meaty men. But I got to go with Gunther. Gunther's going to win this. He's going to retain it. And I was even talking to someone, and it might have just been myself because I just talk to myself sometimes. And I sat here and I was like, Survivor Series, we're gonna have champion against champion, and I'm sitting there saying Gunther against Bobby Lashley. I'm interested in that. So I see Gunther retaining. So I just want to sit here and say Gunther retains. Sorry, there was no picture up, but yes, big meaty man, H-man. Hashtag, you're right. Go ahead, EC.
I agree with you. In my opinion, this is going to be the match of the weekend. It's the last time I looked so forward to a match I cannot remember. But I really feel like this match is just going to be physical, right? But not physical because they can't wrestle, because we know these two can wrestle. It's just going to be a physical match. And I'm here for it. I don't even say that phrase, but I'm here for it. And I'm looking forward to them. I definitely want to go Gunther on this one. I know Sheamus is one. Let me explain something. Sheamus, and I said this on Wednesday with Mike Knox. Sheamus is a low-key GOAT, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is not that he should be in the Mount Rushmore or anything like that. But when you think about the man's accomplishment, former multi-time world champion, former multi-time tag team champion, former United States champion, former Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner. He's also won the King of the Ring. Like, he's done practically everything but that Intercontinental Championship. He's been very vocal about he wanted a shot at it. So now he finally gets it against a very game Gunther. And I just can't wait for them to go at it and tear each other apart. I'm looking forward to this match so hard. It's going to be, in my opinion, Gunther's toughest match to date since he joined WWE, whether it's NXT UK, NXT, or WWE. And that's including his losses. I think this will be his toughest match to date. You'll definitely see the battle scars in this one when Gunther picks up the victory. But my pick is Gunther.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gunther winning. Even though if Sheamus won, I would not be upset. But I don't think we're at the end of his reign just yet. I think there's still a lot to be done. But I know that this is going to be a really, really great match, and I'm very excited to watch it. And I'm privileged as well.
That was well
for the record. Another thing I want to add in is you've very rarely, if ever, seen a bad Sheamus match. The man knows how to go in that ring, and he does not get the credit he deserves.
And I can agree to that, because I think when I look back at his, I mean, how long has he been here? Like over 10 years, right? And I can't say he had a bad.
2009, he joined the main roster.
Cool. Because he had that little run on the ECW show for a period. But my point is saying, with Sheamus, I look at some of his stuff, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, back then this was my match. But he was never really a bad wrestler. He just was never in my criteria. It's like, oh, this is the guy I'm going to look at and say, hey, this is the. He didn't fit for me. But as I got older, I'm like, this guy really done a lot. Like, I respect his career, and good for him. And I mean, I hope before it's all said and done, he does win the IC title. It's just not going to be tomorrow night or tomorrow, because it's going to be during the day. Let's get to the main event of Clash of the Castle. We have Roman Reigns defending the undisputed Universal Championship against Drew McIntyre. EC, take the floor.
I mean, anybody knows me already knows who I'm going to go for on this one, man. Are you kidding me? Throw them ones up, man. Roman Reigns is going to retain the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I know a lot of people are banking on Drew McIntyre. I'm hearing more reports from these clowns of Drew McIntyre Roman Reigns losing the title than ever before. Everybody thinks he's going to lose this weekend to Drew McIntyre. It's not going to happen. They will be dumb as hell to take those titles off of Roman right now. When I say hottest reign in history for a world title in this era, the modern era, forget Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund. But we have 2 shows. You heard Adam Pearce, 2 shows every single week in pay-per-views and all that other stuff going on. When was the last time you ever seen somebody in a 2-year reign and it's still fresh, right? People still don't want to actually see him lose the title. I had this conversation with both of you last year on SmackDown shows when we were talking about Roman Reigns. Nobody wanted to see him lose the title. Said, yes, he beat John Cena. I was like, he's about to have a 4-year. I don't see it in his sight, and I don't want it in his sight. Now we're here a year later when I really thought around the time he was going to lose it, right? I'm looking at it now as he's going to carry it well into 2023. He will headline, he will walk into WrestleMania as the undisputed champion. There is no way I see anybody else taking that title off of him and walking to WrestleMania. He's going to make it possibly to 1,000 days as champion. Drew is a very good wrestler. He deserves all the credit in the world. I wish they would take one of those titles off Roman so he could possibly get a chance to go after that title. And when I mean one of those titles, I mean the WWE title, not the Universal title, because that's his baby and that's the one everybody recognizes for. But Drew, unless they say it's only going to be for one title, which some people say, oh, yeah, it's going to be for one title. No, it's not. They never said that. Unless they announce it's going to be for one title, you have no chance in hell. There's not going to be a Fiend showing up to cause no match. Not going to be a Karrion Kross. Not going to be a Braun Strowman. Stop listening to these freaking dirt sheets, okay? Dexter Lumis ain't popping out of nowhere. Roman Reigns is going to by himself. And I mean, it might show up against Drew McIntyre, if anything, because Roman has no help. The Usos will not be there. Sami Zayn will not be there. Paul Heyman will not be there. None of these people will be there. Maybe that will be so with Sikoa. Maybe that's why he's getting called up. But, there you go, George Samuel Lewis. I mentioned him, right? Right? I got you, Incomparable. Maybe he will be the one to show up. Somebody's going to show up, possibly, to help Roman. But he ain't losing no title.
I am going to go with Roman. I don't think that he is going to be losing that anytime soon. I think the only two people right now I'm convinced that could take this title off of him is either Cody or AJ.
Oh, what the fuck? AJ?
I know it's random, but I believe it. I feel it. Something, he just has that credible feeling as to he could be being booked running for the 24/7 title, and I still will be like, you know what? If he beat Roman next week, I'd be like, you know what? Okay. I don't know why, but I just feel that way about AJ. I can't.
It's either Cody, which it shouldn't be, in my opinion, but it's either Cody, Big E returning as a surprise, or a Royal Rumble, or the only person I see with momentum enough to do it. Sorry, AJ. The only person I see with momentum enough to do it is Bobby Lashley. That man has developed a strong following over the last couple months. And he's the only person I see every time he wins, that place goes crazy. I literally saw them give him a world championship celebration when he just won one match. This is before he won the United States title. So Bobby Lashley, I think, has the following enough that he can do it and will be believable enough to do it, but he's not going to do it.
Okay, so I can take the floor here. Roman has no business losing this Saturday. He legitimately just had no business losing. Like, I remember talking to people, and I hear the conversation when I hear people say, "Well, they're in England. This is a perfect spot for Drew to win the championship." And you know what? Not everyone gets a happy ending. I think Roman destroys this guy. He beats this guy. He says that he emails them a ha ha ha, and Roman wins. I agree. I think there's still some feuds that he can do. You guys mentioned Bobby Lashley. They never really had a feud. They had a match, but they never had a feud. Mm-hmm. AJ Styles, 2016. Correct. And I was thinking about this too as I was preparing for the show and everything like that. And I said, and I remember they had two good matches because they had two consecutive pay-per-views. I think it was the Extreme Rule match that I really, really liked a lot. I believe that was the one I really liked. I feel like there was a lot of interference from the Bullet Club and the Usos and all that stuff. And I think it was Extreme. So there's that. And I believe the person to take, you said, I think one of you guys said Bobby Lashley. I don't see Bobby doing it. I believe the story is still Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, I believe that. I believe that, especially when you think about the story where he said, they took the WWE championship from my father, but when I win it, I'm going to sit here and say they can't do that. I feel like that's the story. I don't know. And I agree with what you said. So at first we said 2023, I was like, and I had to realize, we're in 2022.
We're in September of 2022.
Right. And see, I had to think about that is my point. But going into 2023 as champion, I can see that. But my point is, I'm going to go with Drew does not take
Rock is not going to do it. Rock will not come in. No, Rock will, even they said, Rock, we want you to win the title. Rock will say, hell no. I came over to put over my cousin. He's no intention of winning that title. No. I guarantee it. Cody Rhodes, yes. And Cody Rhodes, I can see. I just don't, as somebody who came from AEW and started, he just said this last week, helped start the company and all that other stuff. No offense. I know there's not really competition or anything like that. He left WWE, he went to AEW. It's not really a punishment, but I don't think he should be the one to dethrone your guy. I just don't think that. So I would wait for him to put a world title on him if that's what they want to do or that's what they said they were going to do. But he should not be the one to beat Roman Reigns.
And with that all said, that was our prediction. So let's move along and let's go into NXT Worlds Collide. I think what was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay, like 5 matches. So I think it's So let's go with this one. We have this Sunday. I think it's at 4. I forget the exact time, but we have Nikki Cross.
You have to say anything nobody else has said. There's nothing original about what you just said.
What?
Mike said, "Why don't people listen to me?" I said for 3 years it's Rock and Roman and Mania. Everybody's been saying that.
They've been saying that for the longest.
Yeah, like.
But that's
a Willie comment.
Nikki
Willie says shit like that.
Right, you're champion. So we have Nikki ASH, Doudrop against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Who do you guys take winning this? I think it's so obvious, but still. Hey.
And Katana for sure. They just in the beginning of their reign. I agree. Lose, but I think this will be a really, really entertaining match.
I think it will be
there we go.
Kaden Carter and the other woman. I can't remember her name right now. But who?
Katana Chance.
What was her name before that?
Casey Catanzaro.
Okay. I do think them two winning. However, I agree with Kat. I think this match is going to be a very underrated match. Of how good it's going to be. I think Doudrop and Nikki ASH are going to show off because they haven't really had a chance to do it on the main roster. And I think they're a tremendous tag team. Everybody knows how we all feel about Nikki ASH. We know that she can really go if she gives them a chance. And I think the same thing about Doudrop. I think Doudrop is very, very talented. I think Doudrop's so talented, I really wouldn't be upset if she was a women's champion. Like legit straight up. I think she is that talented in the ring that can go with pretty much anybody. And I think these two are going to show off in front of NXT crowd, which is why they actually look happy. Not only because they actually came out and got a reaction, which is weird for them, but because they're actually going to be able to show off their wrestling skills. And I'm looking forward to it. This is actually one of my most anticipated matches for Worlds Collide.
You said, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize, sir. But it's interesting that you guys say that and makes me want to put more eyes on this match. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, I didn't want to look forward to this. It was just a match I didn't expect. But it's going to – I mean, when you sit here and mention the talent, because Nikki ASH, she's really great. I just miss her as Nikki Cross. But, I give my prediction, I don't see the NXT Women Tag Team Championships going anywhere. I see Katana and Kaden retaining. So I agree. I did want to sit here and say this. This was the match I think I was looking most forward to because he just doesn't miss. I mean, NXT this past week, I apologize for everybody, but they had a lot of cameos this past Tuesday. And we got a cameo from Ricochet. And that's funny because they had this like Twitter beef or Twitter feud. Ricochet was saying, I can do all that stuff you can do. And he said, except talk. Carmelo is great. He's tremendous. I look forward to that. And I just want to point out another title that is secondary. And he's made that title feel so important to me.
The A title.
He is the A title. Listen, Braun, I think, has been a great champion. But he's not a better champion than Carmelo. I don't believe that. What we got here? Melo has to. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Ricochet's going over there to do the job. But I just sit here and say this match is gonna be fun. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun, great match. It's gonna be quick pace, and I think I look more forward to that on anything on this card. So I'm just gonna go with Melo. So EC, take the floor.
I'm looking forward to this match too. Listen, I really wish I was going to be there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. But this is
because you'll be at Clash of the Champion, Clash of Castle, right?
Sure. But this match, just like the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match, I really wish I was there in person because these two are going to go and let it all out. I mean, there was a lot of cameos in NXT this week. Not simply because of the fact they really wanted to push this event. Triple H said, "Hey, let's send some people down there," because normally they had like 1 or 2 cameos occasionally. They sent down like half the Raw. I'm exaggerating, half the Raw roster and some SmackDown people.
But you're not wrong. Finn, Rhea, there was a lot of names on there.
They did it to push how important this premium live event is on Sunday. It needs to feel big because it's the end of NXT UK as we know it. It's not truly the end because they're rebranding, but it is the end of NXT UK as we know it. And yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. So the bottom line is, I there's no way Ricochet wins this championship unless he's going to go back to NXT, and I seriously doubt it. I think he's fine on SmackDown, fine where he's at right now. Let him go ahead and do that. But Melo picks up the victory. He is the A champ. I actually don't see him this time next year being in NXT.
Take the floor, Captain.
Yeah, I see Melo winning. I don't see any reason why he should lose at all. But this is going to be an amazing match, though. So I'm very excited for that.
Well put. So let's go to here. It's going to be a fatal four-way for both. I believe both titles are on the line. We have the NXT Championship and the NXT UK Tag Team Championship going on. We got Diamond Mine or the the Bros. We got Jensen and Fool. Pretty Deadly and Gallows. With this match, it's who takes all the gold, right? And I feel like they put it on the Creed brothers. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Creed brothers are the ones to get the titles. I can't, and I might switch my answer to on Sunday. No, I'm not gonna switch my. It's the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers are gonna get all the gold, and Sad Rod is just gonna be sad because he has no gold. So I give it to the Creed brothers. Captain, who do you got for this fatal four-way? The Creed brothers. That's the name. I'm sorry. I want to be sure it was the Creed brothers.
The Creed brothers. Yes,
I forgot. I'm sorry.
I do see the Creed brothers winning. Like, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. I think that Julius is a star. He has so much potential. Like, when you look at him, it's like, damn, this guy's got it. He has it. Like, he does. I don't see him losing. I see Julius and I see Brutus winning this match 100%. And I think it's a sleeper. I think this match is going to be a sleeper. That's just me personally.
You're smart.
No, I don't think it's going to be a bad match on the card. So I agree with you, sleeper. I don't think they're going to give it to Creed Brothers. I think Creed Brothers has other things going on with them, with Diamond Mine, that kind of takes the focus off the NXT tag team titles, and so you want to push that with somebody else. See Gallus walking away as the unified champions, just to keep them with something to do going into the branding of NXT Europe. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Gallus. Just enough said. But this is also gonna be a very good match.
That's right.
And this is a roll in the dice because I can see Pretty Deadly walking away also with the chat. I can see any of these four teams walking away with those tag team titles.
I love
any of them.
That is an interesting pick that you picked because what we picked here and whatever, and you said Gallows, and I'm like, really? But that's an interesting pick. So we'll have to see how that all turns out. Let's go. What we got? NXT Black and Gold brand. Okay. Never mind. I was gonna read it, but never mind. But let's get in here. We have a triple threat for the women's championship. We have Mandy Rose. Cap, help me out here. Who's the NXT UK champ? I can never pronounce the name.
Mako Satomura.
Mako. Damn, she's great. And who's the other person?
That's Bia. I'm sorry. It's Blair Davenport. I'm sorry.
That's funny. Why?
Because I was calling her by her other name. That's Blair Davenport.
So I gotta say, Mako should totally win. Like, she should just win. She should really win. Like, I just felt like I don't know the other lady's credentials. I take your word on she's really, really good. She's someone that you should look out for. I just don't know enough about her. Mandy Rose, she held this title, where were we in September? Next month, make a year. And I didn't even think she would make it this freaking far. And she did. And kudos to her because I'm not gonna say she did a bad job. I just think it was a what title ring where I'm like, oh, okay, she did that. But Meko should freaking destroy everyone in that ring. She should win. She's probably not gonna win, but I'm gonna pick her anyway because you know why? She has a scorpion kick that destroys people. People have been paralyzed after that kick. I don't understand. What are we talking about here? She should be beating everyone in that ring. I don't understand. Why is she slowing down for Mandy Rose? Huh? What are we doing here? She should win. And she's probably not going to win, but I'm going to pick her regardless. That's my pick. Captain Shaykesphere, take the floor, then EC. Because my blood pressure has went through the roof.
Wow. I see. I'm gonna go with a wild card here. I think Blair Davenport is gonna win. I really, really do. I don't know why, but I do, and I'm ready for. I think this is the perfect thing to do. Like, obviously, things are going to change. Everyone's getting mushed in together. I think this is a great champion to use moving forward to this new area they're going to be in right now. Blair Davenport.
And you're trying to say how they're blending the universes now is NXT 616. That's what you're trying to get at. The executive consultant, please take the floor.
I'm going to agree with Cap here. I'm going to say Blair Underwood. Shit. Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport is.
Was that a movie?
No. Because why is she in this match for the most part? It's kind of like random. I think Alexa Bliss. Shout out to George Samuel Lewis, the incomparable George Samuel Lewis. He said, because he's always got the breaking news that Toxic Attraction is most likely going to the main roster. I think that's a given at this point. I think Mandy Rose has done everything she could do in NXT. I think the only reason how come she's held this long is because no one else really was credible enough to beat her for that championship. I do believe a couple weeks ago they were going to give it to that one woman, but she got injured. So this is the way to go. I don't think Mako Satomoto, and the funny thing is we put the graphic up and I saw these three women, I was like, he's going to butcher these names. So you did not disappoint. Thank you. But welcome. I don't think
you're absolutely welcome.
I don't think she's going to want to travel back and forth like that to NXT on a weekly basis. So I don't see her winning the championship, but I do see Blair Davenport being that person. I think she's talented enough on the mic and in the ring where she can carry that championship for a little while. So I'm going to go with her winning the championship on Sunday.
And let's get into the main event. First off, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and sticking with us as long as you did. You're great. Let's get into this main event here. We have Braun the Boar against Taylor. Is it Bateman? I feel like it's not Bateman.
Who the hell is Taylor Bateman? It's Tyler Bateman. For God's sakes.
I added a man for a reason. I don't know. I messed up stuff.
Yes, you do.
Braun is. Thank you. I have Braun winning this, but if I can take the floor, I would love for Tyler to win the championship. I butcher his name. I'm sorry. That's what I do. I butcher name.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like you wear them glasses to hide your face. I just think he should totally. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. It would be because I feel like Braun is just the go-to guy to win. I would like a swerve, but I just see Braun winning. I mean, they've been building this brand around him. This is really his brand. So I see Braun winning. Like, I would love a swerve just because I would love a swerve. But Braun takes the championship, so I'm going to go with Braun. EC, take the floor.
Braun wins the title. That's it. That's just the short and long of it.
You just remind me of Goldberg.
The funny thing is, I always prefer, I call it the Braun Breaker effect. When his match comes on, I automatically ready to leave.
Someone wrote in the chat that Braun actually go ahead. He said he lost his momentum a while ago, and that was Derek. He said he lost his momentum.
He's not wrong. He's decent in the ring. He could put on a match.
He's not bad. He's really not bad. I would never say he's bad.
1 hour, 38 minutes. But he's not okay. Let me put
no one asked you to be here. Fuck you.
On a match, he could put on a match, right? He's not exactly the sloppiest person in the ring, but he's not interesting. His matches don't captivate you. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who can be in the ring and they can tell a story, even if they're not that. John Cena was not that great a wrestler, but he knows how to tell a story in the ring, which captivated you for that match. Some people are good at telling telling stories and doing the actual wrestling match. I'll use this excuse, and this is not to get on Captain Shakespeare's good side because I really could not care less because she's a Liv Morgan fan. But Finn Balor is good at both, right? Braun Breaker can do a match, but he doesn't captivate you to really care about the match. And that's why I say it's a Braun Breaker effect.
Where are you, H-Man, when I sit here and make all these Braun jokes? Because now look at him. He said he lost his momentum after Stand and Deliver. I just feel like when I make these jokes, you guys don't laugh. I don't appreciate this. But, Captain, take the floor.
You know what? And to piggyback off what Derek said, not only is Hook, also, I forgot this dude's name, but he had so much momentum at AEW. Even though I was interested in him, he beat MJF, and then he said, "I don't want a world title. I want the TNT title." And I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Wallow?
Yeah, him. He's in a 6-man match on Sunday. Like,
we're not doing prediction for AEW, ladies and gentlemen, because we'd be here till 2 a.m. I'm sorry.
I might pull off on Sunday. We'll see.
There we go. That means no.
14,
so you guys know it means no.
14 matches for AEW on Sunday. 14. That's more matches than both these PLEs we just did combined.
That means when it comes time to putting the poll and stuff, I'm not doing that.
That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
They can go fuck themselves.
I'm not watching. I obviously Braun is gonna win. Will I just say is that his momentum did take a hit after he randomly lost his title to Dolph. But
no, because I can't believe you said that. What?
Okay. So yes, Braun is winning, and I think this match is going to be insane.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be outrageous. Tyler don't miss, and I just want to see where he goes after.
He's not mellow.
This.
He's not.
He's not mellow. How dare you?
Tyler Bate, listen, please. I don't want to hear nothing about that because Tyler Bate was having everybody lose their mind in Chicago, and you remember the night. So I'm not going to talk about it. Tyler Bate doesn't miss. You heard it.
Was she yelling at you or me? Because I feel like I'm always getting yelled at. Was that you?
No.
That was you.
George Samuel Lewis, can you explain this comment to me? Wait, AEW All Out has 14 matches. Wow, no wonder NXT Worlds Collide is going to be awesome. I don't understand. I don't understand how one correlates to the other. They have 30 titles defended All Out, so you need 4 hours and 7 commentators to cover it all.
I'll be asleep. I'm not watching. I mean, listen.
The technician had us watch the AEW Dark Elevation. Can you believe that? Not the primary show, not the secondary show, not the tertiary show. Okay, but had us watch AEW Dark Elevation. Hikaru Shida came out there, right? And she had a championship. I don't even know the name of this championship, but she defended against somebody who I actually like, but right now I want to call her. Her name's like Miko or something like that. I told David, I respect the fact that AEW acknowledges when one of these wrestlers come up in their championship or another promotion that they allow them to carry the title to ring. I do respect that, but them defending all these daggone titles is just too much. Y'all need to stop. They can come out and wear it, but they should not be defending them. The only thing you should be defending are your AEW championships, not even Ring of Honor. Find them a show. Give them an AEW Dark Elevation. Make a Ring of Honor Dark Elevation. I don't care what you do. But stop. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. That's why your talent's not happy now. That's one thing on the dirt sheet. I truly believe it. I do know that's true. They are not happy right now because y'all hired too many. And we've been saying this for over a year. But all you AEW people are still in your honeymoon. Now Triple H is there. And now y'all want to start cheating and slide in DMs. But no, I don't want y'all in this house, right? We've been saying this for a while. They hire too many people. They don't know what they're doing. Their booking's a little crazy. Their matches are sloppy. All the stuff that y'all been saying now, we've been saying for a while. Okay? Shout out to AEW crew. I hope they're not watching this. They'll be, but they'll probably never come back. But right, please understand that this is the case. Y'all do too much on AEW, and I actually like y'all a little bit, but y'all do too much.
That was all the predictions. I don't even know how to fucking follow up with that.
Go to sleep.
Trust me, you're putting me there.
I wasn't talking to you.
I don't know, because you always start with me. Fuck you.
No, you start with me. I don't say anything.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're gonna cancel. We're getting ready to end the show, but we're gonna do some plugs. I think it's important to do some plugs here as we get ready to call it a night. We're gonna sit here and first, everyone who's stayed with us. It's 11:51 here in New York. We want to say thank you for. You laughed. What was so funny? It's not funny. Okay. Why is it 12 where you're at?
We're in the same time zone.
I don't know because you laugh. What's so funny? Am I Eddie Murphy here?
You're definitely not.
Anyway, shut up. Let me plug. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Let's do some plugs. You can catch me and the captain. We're going to be back this Tuesday. We're going to talk NXT. It's going to be a fun show. We promise. I don't even know that mouse don't work. I said that mice. Oh my God. Is there a graphic? There's no graphic here for us. That's fine. That's cute. But you can watch us this Tuesday. But I also want to give some plugs to some friends of the show. I want to give a plug to the Wrestling Doll. If you have not subscribed to her YouTube page, please do it because the link is there. Also, someone deleted it. Okay, because I was going to sit here and say, but there's a link to Cedar Superior. But speaking of Cedar Superior, tomorrow night, because I have to plug this show, tomorrow night we are having a UPR battle. It is right here, as you see. It is Sam for Total Spies against number 5. Can you shut up as I plug this? God damn it. But tomorrow, there's going to be this show. Please tune in Instagram Live. It's going to be a great time. I plan on going hashtag 3 in a row, hashtag victory juice. It's going to be a great time. Cedar Superior, she thinks she's great. Yes, H-Man says Jack Pack community, a.k.a. that's my Jack Packers. Someone write that down in the chat. H-Man, I want you to write that down. Jack Packers. Yes, thank you. Also, follow this Twitch right here. We have – I'm not going to do this, George. Sawyer, do it.
This is my Twitch. I stream a lot. I play multiple games. Right now, I'm a bit obsessed with Dead by Daylight, so that's what I'm focusing on. So definitely follow. Have a good time. We like to talk about a lot of different things. Wrestling as well is a large portion of the conversation. But we talk about other things as well. So definitely follow, and let's talk. Let's hang out.
You heard it. That's all. I think that's all the links. I mean, continue to, and there's links to not even just those links that I pointed out to. There's a link to, if you guys like entertainment, we just did She-Hulk yesterday, episode 3, and they also were still doing the Rocky. What are we doing, executive consultant? Please.
Police Academy now. Rocky is over.
You should have told me.
Set a calendar. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure every single Monday you join Mike Knox as well as DJ for Perfect Plex Radio, 6 o'clock p.m. every single Monday. On Tuesdays, UPRE drops another good review episode. Right now they're doing Police Academy. On Wednesdays, of course, you can join. I'm sorry, we're going to bring up AEW back. Okay, let's go back to Tuesday. Tuesday, you can join these two immediately after NXT. Looking for that. They're always an entertaining time. And apparently they're very popular on YouTube. So definitely check them out. Wednesday, we're going to bring AEW back. And you can join myself as well as Mike Knox for the best damn show in radio each and every single Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Thursday, another UPRE episode. This time is for this week coming. We're going to drop Wildcats to cover our football movie month, as well as the She-Hulk review with Badguy Jack Cedar Superior and the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Also, make sure that you, for all your podcast platforms, the Unpopular Review Wrestling, Raw and SmackDown no longer on the air. However, Big Daddy Cool and myself do talk about Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, whatever you want to talk about each and every single Wednesday. It gets dropped. Myself as well as Big Daddy Cool. And, of course, subscribe to our gaming networks and our sports networks, Unpopular Review Gaming and Unpopular Review Sports. Thank you so much for watching us here tonight. For that laughing clown up there, for the beautiful Captain Shaykesphere, I am the executive consultant. And we will see you tomorrow because odds are we'll have an episode tomorrow right here at Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.
I thought you was going to do the button.
Press
No, you press the button. No, you're the guest. You press the goddamn button.
Press the button, right?
This was so bad. Ladies and gentlemen,
it's a terrible ending.
Ladies and gentlemen, bye. That's all, folks.